Welcome back to Today we will learn about the explosive developments hitting Salem on Tuesday, August 26th, as shocking encounters and unexpected revelations send shockwaves through the most prominent families in town. Belle Black's urgent warning creates tension. The drama kicks into high gear when Belle Black finds herself in the uncomfortable position of issuing a stern warning to Philip Kiriakis. Belle's protective instincts are firing on all cylinders as she witnesses Philip drawing dangerously close to the enigmatic and unpredictable Gabby Hernandez. Belle's concern isn't unfounded. She's witnessed firsthand how Gabby's manipulative tendencies can destroy lives and relationships in Salem. Belle's warning comes at a crucial moment when Philip appears to be falling under Gabby's seductive spell. The seasoned lawyer knows all too well that Gabby has a reputation for using her feminine wiles to get what she wants, often leaving a trail of broken hearts and shattered dreams in her wake. Belle's friendship with Philip runs deep, and she refuses to stand by silently while he potentially walks into what she perceives as an emotional minefield. The tension escalates when Philip dismisses Belle's concerns, suggesting instead that he'd rather spend his precious free time with Belle herself. This unexpected proposition adds another layer of complexity to their relationship, especially considering both characters are apparently planning to skip their responsibilities at some point during the week. Philip's suggestion reveals his underlying trust in Belle's judgment, even as he rebelliously pushes forward with his dangerous liaison with Gabby. Jada Hunter's mortifying police station encounter. Meanwhile, at Salem's bustling police station, Detective Jada Hunter finds herself caught in an incredibly awkward and embarrassing situation involving the charismatic Alex Kiriakis. The encounter promises to be so uncomfortable that both parties will struggle to maintain their professional composure afterward. Sources suggest that Alex may be caught in a state of undress, possibly acting out scenes from Stephanie Johnson's provocative novel when Jada unexpectedly arrives. The timing couldn't be worse for Alex, who likely expected to encounter Stephanie instead of the no-nonsense police detective. This mortifying mix-up will undoubtedly create lasting awkwardness between the two, though it might also provide some much-needed comic relief in Salem's typically drama-heavy atmosphere. The incident could serve as a wake-up call for Alex, potentially convincing him that he and Stephanie desperately need their own private space away from prying eyes and unexpected interruptions. The embarrassment factor alone might be enough to motivate Alex to take their relationship to the next level, seeking more intimate and secure accommodations where such awkward encounters can be avoided entirely. Paulina Price's shocking discovery and concerns. District Attorney Paulina Price finds herself grappling with multiple explosive revelations that threaten to shake Salem to its very core. Her meeting with Jada at the police station centers around her growing concerns about Kristen DiMera's controversial confession and the increasingly chaotic handling of Johnny DiMera's high-profile trial. Paulina's frustration reaches a boiling point as she witnesses what she perceives as a complete mockery of the justice system. The trial proceedings have taken on an almost farcical quality, with twists and turns that seem more suited to a soap opera than a legitimate courtroom drama. Paulina's professional reputation and integrity are on the line as she struggles to maintain control over a case that seems to be spiraling wildly out of control. Adding to Paulina's mounting stress, she receives completely unexpected news from her beloved husband, Abe Carver. Abe's announcement about securing a brand new professional opportunity takes Paulina completely by surprise, though the nature of this mysterious new venture remains tantalizingly unclear. While Paulina should theoretically be thrilled about Abe's career advancement, the timing couldn't be more challenging given the current chaos surrounding Johnny's trial. Stephanie and Xander's strategic business meeting. In a separate development that could have far-reaching implications for Salem's business community, public relations expert Stephanie Johnson schedules a crucial private consultation with the volatile Xander Kiriakis. Their confidential discussion focuses on developing comprehensive PR strategies for Xander and the powerful Titan Corporation. Stephanie faces significant challenges in taking on Xander as a new client, particularly given his well-documented anger management issues. The savvy PR professional recognizes that Xander's explosive temper could potentially sabotage any carefully crafted public relations campaign. Her first priority involves convincing Xander to seek professional help for his anger management problems, possibly through therapy sessions with the renowned Dr. Marlena Evans. However, Stephanie's plans hit an unexpected snag when she discovers that Marlena is currently taking a leave of absence from the hospital to focus on helping Rachel Black through her current crisis. This development leaves Xander's anger management treatment in limbo, potentially complicating Stephanie's ability to effectively rehabilitate his public image and business reputation. Gabby's morning after revelations. The morning sun rises on one of Salem's most scandalous overnight encounters as Gabby Hernandez awakens in the rumpled bed sheets beside Philip Kiriakis. Their passionate night together at the bistro has clearly progressed beyond simple dinner conversation, marking a significant escalation in Gabby's ongoing romantic manipulation of the Kiriakis brothers. The aftermath of their intimate encounter promises to create ripple effects throughout Salem's interconnected social circles. Gabby's calculated seduction of Philip represents another strategic move in her complex game of romantic chess, as she continues to play the Kiriakis brothers against each other for her own mysterious purposes. Family interrogations and uncomfortable questions. Gabby's morning after bliss is quickly shattered when she faces intense questioning from two very different family members, each with their own agenda and concerns. Her teenage daughter, Ariana Ari Horton, immediately notices her mother's overnight absence and demands detailed explanations about Gabby's nocturnal activities. Ari's questioning reveals her growing maturity and awareness of her mother's complicated romantic life. The perceptive teenager likely recognizes the calculated nature of her mother's behavior and may even demand to know why Gabby is deliberately targeting both Philip and Xander Kiriakis in her romantic schemes. Simultaneously, Javi Hernandez approaches Gabby with his own burning questions about her increasingly complicated relationship dynamics with the powerful Kiriakis brothers. Javi's curiosity about the full story behind Gabby's romantic triangle adds another layer of family pressure as Gabby struggles to justify her manipulative tactics to her loved ones. The combined interrogation from both Ari and Javi forces Gabby into an uncomfortable position where she must either reveal her true motivations or craft convincing lies to protect her carefully orchestrated plans. This family confrontation could potentially derail Gabby's schemes if she can't successfully navigate the mounting suspicions and concerns of those closest to her. As Tuesday's episode unfolds, Salem residents brace themselves for the explosive consequences of these interconnected storylines, each promising to deliver the shocking twists and emotional drama that Days of Our Lives fans have come to expect and cherish. Monday, August 25, 2025. A chance encounter, old wounds, and new schemes in Salem. On this Monday's episode of Days of Our Lives, viewers were treated to a mix of surprise encounters, unexpected connections, and fiery behind-the-scenes maneuvering. What began as an ordinary day at the hospital soon spiraled into a series of conversations that could reshape relationships, reopen old wounds, and even change the balance of power in Salem. A chance meeting at the hospital. The episode opened with Kat walking through the hospital corridors, her arms wrapped around a box filled with belongings. The sight of her, burdened not only with physical weight but also with the baggage of her complicated past, immediately set the tone. She wasn't expecting to run into anyone she knew, but Salem is a small town, and chance meetings are never quite accidental. Just around the corner, Gwen had finished donating blood. She sat calmly, sipping juice, as if trying to replenish more than just her strength. Kat immediately recognized her, Dimitri's wife. The name alone was enough to stir up painful memories, because Dimitri had harmed more than a few of the people Kat held dear. For Gwen, the recognition was just as sharp, though for an entirely different reason. She remembered Kat not as a stranger but as the woman who once impersonated her late sister, Abigail. The air between them grew heavy with unspoken tension. Kat, carrying her usual mix of regret and boldness, apologized for the past. But Gwen quickly cut through the apology. In her world, resentment ran deep, but her bitterness toward her sister overshadowed all else. If there was anyone she despised more than her manipulative husband, it was Abigail. What could have been a confrontation instead turned into an unlikely moment of connection. Gwen, sensing a kindred spirit in Kat, surprised everyone by suggesting they share a meal together sometime soon. She even asked for Kat's phone number. For two women who had circled each other warily in the past, this was the first spark of a new, potentially dangerous alliance. A fortunate friendship or a calculated move? Later, Kat carried herself into Rafe's office, still rattled by her encounter with Gwen. Inside, she found Rafe leaning back in his chair, speaking warmly on the phone and offering congratulations to Johnny. For a moment, she stood silently, almost as if she had intruded on a private family celebration. When Rafe finally hung up, Kat delivered the news. She was quitting. With Marlena on leave, she explained, there was no longer a reason for her to remain in her current position. This decision was not made lightly. For Kat, leaving meant giving up one of her few inside connections, especially concerning EJ's secretive moves to buy the hospital. Without access, she risked being left in the dark. But Kat, never one to surrender completely, hinted that another door had just opened. Gwen. The suggestion carried an edge of strategy, as if Kat were already calculating how to use this new friendship to her advantage. Rafe, however, was not impressed. He knew too well the tangled and painful history between Gwen and Chad, and he reminded Kat of it. His warning was sharp. Any alliance with Gwen could bring more trouble than benefit. But Kat, impulsive and curious as ever, seemed almost intrigued by the danger. A mother's anger and a brother's warning. After Kat's departure, the scene shifted focus to Rafe once more. The office, now quieter, carried the weight of his responsibilities. He picked up the phone again, this time speaking not as a colleague or friend, but as a man caught in the middle of family drama. On the other end was Sami, whose fiery temper was in full force. Rafe gently reassured her that Johnny was safe at home with his wife, where he belonged. It was news meant to calm her, but Sami's anger had already turned toward another target. Kristen. Her threats spilled over the line, sharp and dangerous. But Rafe, steady and measured, reminded her of an important truth. He was not only her friend but also a federal agent. He could not and would not allow her to make threats, especially ones that could land her in even deeper trouble. Then, with the kind of weary wisdom that only comes from years of seeing justice both succeed and fail, Rafe made a quiet prediction. If the legal system failed to bring Kristen to justice, EJ might very well take matters into his own hands. It was a chilling thought, but one that hung in the air as a very real possibility. Reflections and underlying tensions. This episode stood out not because of a dramatic trial or an explosive revelation, but because of the quiet power of conversations. Each interaction peeled back layers of resentment, hope, and danger. Kat and Gwen's meeting was more than coincidence. It symbolized how shared pain can bind even the most unlikely people together. But whether their budding friendship is genuine or merely a means of survival remains uncertain. Kat's resignation marked a turning point. By leaving her post, she may have lost one path to information but immediately sought another. Her willingness to lean on Gwen suggests a mix of desperation and daring that could land her in even deeper conflict. Rafe's call with Sami reminded viewers of Salem's unbreakable family bonds. Even in anger, even in fear, mothers like Sami will always fight for their children. Yet her rage toward Kristen opened the door to dangerous consequences. And in the middle of it all, EJ's shadow loomed larger than ever. His plans to buy the hospital, his complicated role as both villain and protector, and his potential to mete out justice himself. All of it promises storms ahead. Closing thoughts. For longtime viewers of Days of Our Lives, this Monday's episode was a reminder of what makes Salem such a captivating place. It is not just the betrayals or the love stories that keep audiences watching, but the way everyday encounters ripple outward into larger conflicts.